Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to episode 23 of Bowls Breakdown Podcast. 1 year down the books.
Yeah, last one of the year.
Yeah, last one. Obviously, as you can see, we've got no special guest for our last one. Back to our roots, if you will. Going to end the year as we started.
Seems a long way since we sat on the couch in the living room and did the first ever little short for the YouTube.
Yeah, been a lot of change. Obviously, things are getting better and better as everything goes on. But obviously, lots to discuss in this podcast.
We have, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously this podcast is just going to be discussing, the last couple of months from Bowls, kind of small recap of the year, things that have happened over the last few weeks that we've missed, if you will. Just be nice to have a chat about things that are happening and things that could potentially happen in the future.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really good stuff. So, obviously, first thing I wanted to bring up, obviously the World Bowl Series. There's loads of changes happening next year. Increased their events to 30 throughout the world, which I think is a major step forward.
Yeah.
You're talking more players, more ranking points, more eyes, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Obviously can't go wrong if things have got to be going right, if they've got to increase their events for the year.
Yeah.
And also on top of that, you've got obviously the inaugural World Bowl Series finale.
Yes.
Happening in Club Barnum.
In December 10th.
December 15th, I think it was.
Oh, I thought it was the 10th or 12th.
Well,
might be right.
It's something. It's couple of weeks, 2 weeks into December.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of our very own guests will be representing Wales in that.
Yeah.
Ross Owen.
Really pleased for us.
Yeah, it's it's probably going to be a great event. You're talking the best names in bowls.
Yeah, it is.
The top ranked players in bowls will be participating in this event. I saw on Facebook a couple of days ago, even Kelsey Cottrell's been announced to be playing, and I'm assuming quite a few more.
Yeah.
Obviously, haven't had the full list yet. I don't think they've released the full list yet. They might have, but
I don't know. Yeah, they've just released one every couple of days so far, haven't they, in the build-up?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a quick browse, but it's gonna be quite a few good names there. Yeah,
without doubt. Yeah.
So we're looking forward. I'm assuming, Bowls Australia will be streaming that every day of the event.
Well, I hope so. It's going to be exciting, and we wish Ross all the best. As I know every bowler in Wales will. So all the best, bud.
Yeah, and for people like us who are looking to grow the game, it's nice to see that there's new events, more things coming in.
Yeah.
More chance to get eyes on the game that we're trying to grow ourselves, and it's just looking like it's on the up a little bit more than we think, which is nice. But it's still, we're still going to do everything we need to do to create the platform that Bowls needs. Yeah. In order to move forward. I want to stick with obviously Australia for a little bit. Over the last month, end of last month, we had BPL 22.
Yes, you watched a lot of that, didn't you?
So much of it. I watched so much Bowls that week. It was unbelievable. And I think it was like the week before, I ended up having a lot of Bowls anyway. Or that week and the week before, I played like 4 or 5 times that week, and I was Bowls mad for a couple of weeks watching that BPL. I want to bring it up because obviously, we've talked about it in past episodes, but it just seems like that's the go-to event if you want to create the platform for Bowls. Yeah, something like that where you do it over. I think they did it over like 4 days, 3-4 days.
What format do they play?
They play pairs. They play 3-wood pairs.
Sets?
Two sets of 5 ends.
And that's interesting because the World Cup of Bowls was the same, wasn't it? You know?
So I think a lot of, especially short term, because they've got so many. I mean, they played 22 rounds before the finals, so you've got to play 22 matches in 2 days.
Yeah, a lot of
you know, 2.5 days or whatever it is. So, you know, to get through, I think they go through like 10 rounds, 8 rounds, something like that in a day. So you're playing quite a few matches. So, you know, they keep the format short, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
Every shot matters, every end matters.
You know, you're talking about that. I think it's only a matter of time before Wales gets somebody in there. You know, we've got a couple of people there going over from England and Scotland and bowling, and just be nice to get somebody from Wales involved in that as well. I think that would increase the interest in from Wales a little bit more. You
look at some of the names on that list. You've got, like 6 or 7 countries now represented in it. Australia obviously being the primary you know, country that has their bowls, but again, they produce, you know, bowls talent like it's their job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you talk about some of the names. I mean, the Moama Streamers won it this time round. I won't say this year because they do 2 a year. But, you know, Aaron Sheriff led the Moama Streamers, hadn't made a final, I think, in like 3-4 years. You know, plays and wins it all. But, you know, you look at some of the names there: Alex Marshall, Paul Foster played in, Nick Brett, Jamie Walker, Catherine Rendell played in 21. She didn't make the teams in 22. And then you got Selena Goddard from New Zealand, the new world number 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, making her presence there this time round. There's a lot of, again, high quality players are playing in this event that most people won't recognise as traditional bowls. Like, they got to be doing something. Yeah. I know the money is nice for a lot of them, but you know, they still got to be doing something right for them to participate in this event.
Well, the money is going to be a big thing in it for the players. You know, they spend a lot of time, but it's not that 21 ends, 2 practice ends. It's short, it's sweet. It's
they get their trial ends.
Yeah.
Every match they get their 2 trial ends, and it's 2 sets of 5 ends. You play pairs. They have to play a certain amount of bowls. Yeah. So there's 3 people per team.
And they get power end.
They get a power play, but they will substitute every game. Every player will have to play a certain amount of bowls. So most of the time it's after the first set, or they'll play a couple of sets into the second set, and then they'll switch. And you can switch your team round. So someone who skipped in set 1 can go lead in set 2, and as they bring their other player on. And obviously they do the power play then.
I certainly think it's one that's going to interest the youngsters and keeping youngsters interested in the game. It's
interesting in the old ones as well. I mean, you look some of the boys that are playing. You look some of the people playing in that game. That, you know, Alex Marshall's, you know, quite far into his years.
Well, I don't know. He probably feels quite young. He probably feels only 21 in his head and his body.
If you look at the age groups of what's playing, you've got a good mix. You know, Alex Marshall probably, you know, Nick Brett's been around for a long time. Paul Foster's the same. Aaron Sheriff's the same. And then you've got youngsters like Nathan Black, who he might be my new favourite bowler, because the last 2 BPLs, some of the things he does is, you think, who is this guy and where was he made? Not where was he made? He's like lad made. It's unbelievable how good this guy is. And then you've got Jack McShane, you know, a youngster. I think he's 18 or 19, very young, making his debut.
And a lot. It was obviously live streamed.
Yeah,
and quite a few viewers as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, especially on YouTube. Obviously, we don't have the numbers for the actual stream because they all stream it live on their broadcast in Australia. Yeah. But Bowls Australia stream every round, and then they put the nightly broadcast of the finals then on Facebook after the fact. They were looking around, for most games, you were looking about 10,000 on YouTube. But every game was between 7,500 and 6,000. You know, when you talk about a finals night that I'm assuming has probably been watched by a couple of thousand, if not tens of thousands live, plus your 12,000, 13,000 that watched it on YouTube. You know, you're talking decent number of viewers. You know, and reality is most people don't get to watch it live.
No.
You know, they have to watch it after the fact. I mean, you know, with the time
I
difference.
love the way you're bringing in sound effects as well.
Yeah, that came from me. No, I didn't. Someone walking past the house, but the dogs are off as well.
Oh, yeah, we
There
go.
we go.
Oh, we never work with children and animals, they say. But
Yeah, so, you know, and that in itself was, you know, we talked about it before, and I think the goal for, I think just Britain, forget Wales, Scotland, England, and Ireland being separate, just Britain as a whole. If they want bowls to be on the up, I think we've got to have an equivalent.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
but Australia only do it twice a year. See, they only do it in, I think, February and then September.
do we if we do that? Obviously, I don't know a lot because you're the man who goes and watches all of this stuff for us. Yeah. Is that club a regular club that they play for? Is that a super club based from a number of clubs? Do you know?
No, so there's 12 teams.
Okay.
12, I think.
Are they franchises?
14.
So
So
them
they're franchises.
Yeah.
There's certain clubs that basically
together.
franchise then. Well, I think they're individual clubs. So like Moama is its own club.
Right. Okay.
And then you've got the Mortimer Bay, they're their own club. So you've almost got like your big clubs that host all of these events and have the
and how many
income
teams are
stuff.
there in total? Then?
12 or 14
Okay.
off the top of my head, I can't remember.
You know,
There's a few.
because you've come up with a great idea. The UK do something like that, and we have a sort of an area, and you bring so many clubs together from an area, and then
Yeah, I mean,
put up a
the
franchise
reality is to make it successful, you'll have to do it the exact same as what Australia. You'd probably have the same teams, right? You'd have the same teams. They'd just link with a club that can afford a space and crack on that way.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be able to successfully run it without the backing of your big names. Reality. I mean, but that's your long term.
But it depends
goal.
where you want to start in it. You know, you
couldn't do
don't-
that straight away, but that would be your long term goal,
Yeah.
and you know you'd maybe able to have some different players pop in, you know, as of being British and whatnot, but you'd still have to have your big names.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it wouldn't suffice if you just had great player. You'd have to have the best, I think, and that's what makes the BPL work. Is you've got top talent every game,
And I suppose
everywhere on the green.
You've got to look then at the facilities.
Yeah.
You've got to look at the facilities. So you've got, you know, how many people are at?
Well, you'd have to have two
then?
greens
Yeah.
for one, because you'd have to play on two different greens.
2 greens or 2 rinks?
Two greens.
Okay.
Because you've got every game, everyone's playing. That, you know, you got well one green actually if it's 12 teams, because you'd have 6 games on every.
Yeah.
You know, every game
Yeah.
will have 6 games.
But then it's the extra room they got. You know, they got bars, they got eating places.
Yeah,
they
you'd
got,
have to.
So it's about picking the right location again, and where would that be? But again, I'm thinking small Wales. You said talking about nationally in Britain, it would be. I'm sure there's clubs out there who could facilitate that. You know?
Yeah, probably, but again, you're talking. I'd say 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening
Okay.
anytime soon.
No,
But
but no.
you know, we can only dream and,
No, and it's
and
money
talk
in
about it.
It is money.
Speaking of which, obviously with everything coming up, we'll stick with the BPL. The BPL also hosted, or Australia also hosted their first campaign for Bowls for Brisbane.
Yeah.
2032. Yeah, 2032.
Yeah.
Obviously Australia played rest of the world.
Yes.
I think that match alone gained 11,000 viewers on YouTube. Cracking game, to be fair.
You were watching far too much bowls. I haven't got time to watch.
I watch all the bowls. All the bowls.
I'd have to give you jobs to do in the garden,
They're
wouldn't
quick. No. They're quick. They're quick, easy games to watch, and they're only an hour.
I? Yeah.
You speed through them. The game itself only lasts 45 minutes. But I wanted to bring it up because obviously with the Commonwealth coming around the corner and the Olympics being in Australia in 2032, there's obviously a big push for bowls to get back into the Olympics or into the Olympics.
That's going to be
for
exciting.
Australia. Well, I mean, could you imagine bowls in the Olympics?
A British team as well. Because it wouldn't be Wales, England, Scotland, Ireland. It would be a British team.
You'd have to do some proper thinking about that team because Lord knows who you'd put in. But it would be proper. You'd have a fours. They would do it properly. You'd have a fours, triples, pairs, and singles. See, so
does that mean that the international series that we play against each other and male and female, that they pick from there? Do they, do we change do we change the format of the standard?
No, you wouldn't be able to do like the BIIBC and whoever won it. You just wouldn't be able to do that. I think you've got to really think about who's going to be your best players to take.
Yeah. Then you go off world rankings. Do you go off what you're going to go off? Is that there's a host of there'll be a host of problems, but they will be healthy problems to have because we got some good bowlers in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, you look at UK as if you had to individualize the countries, it'd be difficult. But since you're putting them all together, I think there is quite a lot of good players. I mean, just from Scotland, Scotland alone, you can name 4. Obviously, Alex Marshall. I don't know whether he's still playing internationally or not, but Paul Foster, you got Stuart Anderson, Jason Banks, then you got like people like Nick Brett, Jamie Walker, Sam Tolchard, Ross Owen, obviously Dan Salmon from Wales. Try picking a...
Well, Danny Davis Jr. now comes in.
Jr.
Carl Wood.
Yeah.
Jared Breen. You can keep going in it,
Yeah, I mean, you look at the names in which that you could probably put together. It's how would they want?
Yeah, and how do they gel as players together as well?
Yeah, I think reason I said the names I did is probably because they know each other well. Obviously, Ross has played against Paul Foster.
Yeah.
Played numerous times against Sam Tolchard. Obviously, them guys have been around each other enough. A lot of the Scott, Paul Foster and Nick Brett play the BPL against each other. So
Alex Marshall comes back in the equation.
If he's played, I don't know. I think he might have retired from internationals. I don't know.
Would he come back for the Olympics? That's a question, isn't it? Would you make yourself available for the Olympics?
He might end up being a commentator,
or team manager.
I probably see a world where
if they're looking for a team manager, we don't mind carrying kit and doing kit.
We'll be the kit boys. Yeah, we won't be team manager. We'll be the kit boys.
Kit boys, yeah.
Kit boys. Or commentators.
Or entertainment. Or we can do the entertainment. It's fine.
I don't know. It'd be I mean, that's an interesting take. I'd probably say I'd be more comfortable saying that he might not play, but more likely be in a head coach type role.
Can you imagine? This is going to be the first time
because this is still.
I think it's the first time. I think it's first time ever. Bowls are going to be in the Olympics
if we get it.
If they get it, yeah. Let's keep fingers crossed for that. But if we get it, can you imagine any bowler who's retired? Would they come out because they've got a chance to play in the Olympics?
Well, you look at. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about it in a second. There's a few things, but the World Cup we just had, right?
Okay.
The inaugural. We're not going to talk about it. I just want to mention because there was 14 countries that played in that.
Yeah.
So you talk Olympic level. You've got there's probably a lot more that
a hell of a lot more countries to come into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. You got Canada. Canada's quite strong. USA, obviously. I don't know about any of the South American, but there's a lot of European.
Yeah.
I mean, even if GB combines, you still got Spain.
Yeah.
France will have one. And then there's others that I'm blanking on.
Japan.
You got China,
Russia.
Japan, Russia.
There's lots.
Malaysia, Cyprus.
My geography is not, so I don't know how many countries there are in the world, but there must
Italy.
be quite a few.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the countries we know that have participated in bowls comps over the last couple of years, because obviously this is going to be 7 years down the line.
Yeah.
And if countries continue to keep growing, then we'll be all right. But I mean, I'm excited for it. I think the game itself was really cool. They had a male, a female, and then a para bowler.
Yeah.
Per team. And again, the bowls standard was phenomenal, from everyone. It was really, really good. And I think it was such a great way to start the campaigns,
Showcase.
Yeah, and start it in the place where I think bowls in bowls in Australia is at its peak, and that is the BPL at the moment. I think everyone shows out for the BPL. There's a few others that they're doing now that are becoming more and more popular. You talk about the Ultimate Bowls League coming up now. They're starting to. I think they've ended up having 4 more teams come in, and that's something to look forward to over the next few months.
You're right in what you're saying. You know, about 3 months ago, I read an article about secondary schools, and recently another one about primary schools, and they had 18 primary schools with 3 bowlers from each of the primary school bowling in a national competition.
Yeah,
you know, and so they're way ahead. So you know, bowls is on their curriculum. They're playing that in schools on a regular basis with lots of numbers. You know.
Yeah, I mean we're a few years behind. We know this. We obviously still thankful that bowls has been put on the GCSE curriculum as a sport now for PE.
Yeah.
Which is again a massive step forward that hopefully in a couple of years' time we start seeing more and more.
And it'd be interesting to see if any schools have actually got any students who are taking that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean as long
or
as
do they not tell them? I don't know.
Well, they'd have to tell them what sports that they wish to take for GCSE PE. Yeah, so if they did want to do bowls, they'd have to list it as one of their sports, and then however the school feels fit for them to showcase that, it's up to them. But you know, I think the starting point can be a little bit expensive. I know schools might not always have the space or storage for mats and bowls and stuff.
Yeah.
But you talk about it in the literal sense. You get 2 short mats that could be donated by any club. Yeah. And a couple of bowls. You know, carpet bowls to start with if you're a secondary, you know, or secondary
primary
school. Or
but you know, there's usually not a bowling club far away from schools.
Not in Wales that I know of. No, there's, you know, most schools will be within. I mean, you look at Ystrefechan, for example. They're within 50 yards of the bowls green. You know, and like obviously for us, we've got Pen y Bont. Bryn Teg is what.
Pen y Bont's obviously a primary school, but we got Bryn Teg,
Bryn Teg,
Bryn Teg, and we got the Archbishop McGrath. You know, and we got ourselves, and we got the privates in Bridgend. So you know, it doesn't mean they go to us or them.
Well, and
kids bowling.
And Argo, if you're talking
Argo indoors.
And they're all right next to each other realistically. So, you know, there's opportunities out there that we can do it. But again, clubs have got to buy into it. Schools have got to buy into it, and that's usually always the hard case for it all. Anything else to talk about with that? Or Commonwealth coming up? That's why we mentioned it.
Yeah,
obviously
that's why we started going to the Commonwealth. We were talking about selection for the World Cup, but we got a bigger. Each of the nations have got a bigger task before that, and select their 3 players. 3 players. Is that 3 men, 3 women, or 3 mixed?
3 men, 3 women.
Okay.
Because of men's and women's.
Okay.
I was actually talking last night with
and
Paul.
And 3 paras as well, I would imagine, on that.
Yeah. I was speaking to Paul Huckins last night. We played against him in our league, but we were talking about it, and me and him could not come up with the same team.
No.
We were like, you know, this is who I'd pick, or I would pick this. And I'm like, well, there's always going to, especially for Wales at the moment with how well people are doing, there's going to be someone who's going to be disappointed.
Massively disappointed. We have got some class bowlers, and a few of them have competed internationally recently, and we're going on to talk about them, but it's very fine margins, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the last Commonwealth, you had Dan Sam and Gerard Breen won gold.
Yeah.
Are you going to pick the same pair to go try and defend the title?
Yeah.
Also, you got Ross Owen, who saw a lot of success.
I think Owen Dando was, I think, didn't he play in that Commonwealth with the boys?
No.
Something tells me he did, but I might be wrong.
Don't know. Obviously, Carl Wood.
Yeah.
Talk about Carl a lot. The year he's had, the 2 years he's had, unbelievable. Just been out to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And then you've got obviously now Daniel Davis Jr., who's
we talk about him in a while, I suppose.
So you know, there's probably a 1 or 2 more we're missing out, but in terms of right now, I think they're your 5, 6 standouts that probably get the nod. And out of those, which 3 do you take? You're gonna be feeling sorry for 1 or 2 of them. I'm sure.
And there's probably a couple more of the names that we have mentioned who are thinking, I'm gonna be pushing for that as well. You know.
you know, we're just talking about the names we've seen have success for Wales at the moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be a couple more now. We'll have indoor championships before the pick is made, so who knows what names are going to be pushing for a spot there. You know, being able to get through, but it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, and you know, we've just had teams picked for the Worlds, haven't we?
Yeah.
And you know, we go on and talk how successful they were or were not. Really.
We'll talk about the World Cup, the inaugural World Cup.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that first, or do you want to
we'll talk about that first, because that was previous, and we'll talk about what's happening this week.
Yeah,
because we haven't got the full details of that. We can kind of dive into Malaysia a little bit.
Yeah.
So Malaysia obviously saw the inaugural World Cup. First one of many, I'm assuming. It seems so successful out there. I think there was about 13 or 14 countries represented.
I think for all the social media messages coming back from people who are out there, it was enjoyable, well run,
exciting.
Yeah, exciting. They were looked after well.
Streamed.
Live.
Which is, for me, if you're going to throw an event like that, you've got to stream it.
Yeah.
Especially on YouTube. Yeah. Yes, you're not going to make revenue off of broadcasting it, but you're still putting eyes on a game, and only that way will you get the revenue. But streamed a few. Obviously, they could only stream one game at a time, so we missed a couple, but they streamed every session, at least one game every session.
We had a bit of streaming from our very own Paul Williams, Amy's dad as well. So well done, Paul.
Yeah, a couple of.
He kept us up to date with the Welsh.
Kept us excited.
Games. Yes, he did.
So obviously, a little bit of success for Wales. We'll start with We'll start with the paras first, because obviously we had the women, the men, and the paras went out there together.
Yeah.
I don't have the pairs results here, unfortunately, but I have the singles. You know, again, the standard from the para bowls was unbelievable. Got to manage to watch one or two of their games on the streams.
I'm just thinking, did they actually have pairs in the paras? Did they play a man and woman together?
I think they played the mixed, but I don't have the results for it. So sorry for that, Rob and Sue. Obviously, hopefully you can let us know how you got on when we see you over the winter. You know, we did follow along best we could, but I've got so many things to go over the last few months. I've missed the pairs. So Rob Sawyers obviously plays out Patal, but we know Rob quite well. Ended up winning one game, losing 4 in his bracket, his table. Close games. You know, a couple of these were lost on a tie break, a couple of shots in it per set. You know, missing out on a set by 1 or 2 shots. You know, it's a good showing though. It's hard because obviously we talked about it. This was straight after outdoor season. I mean, this was last month. You know, coming straight from outdoor to indoor, having to play the highest quality of bowls you needed to play in order to just get through your group. Forget the quarters and finals, but you know, get through your group. So you know, fair play to Rob. He put on a good show.
And the conditions were tough, and it was quite. It was quite humid out there.
Yeah.
The humidity was high, and
it's something that's we're not used to at all, ever. But you know, good on you. And then the same thing with Sue. Really, Sue Jones went out there for the women.
Yeah, Sue, I think Sue plays up in Radnorshire. I believe she's from.
I'll take your word for it.
I'm assuming that's it, because I think she plays for Llandod, so I'm assuming she plays up in Radnorshire.
She ended up having to play, I believe, the overall gold medalist in her group. Won one game, lost one on a tie break, lost a couple of sets by a few shots here and there. You know, again, 1 shot difference, anything.
It's fine margins,
isn't it? Very fine margins. Had to play Terry Blackburn from New Zealand. I believe that was end up being the gold medalist for. Right. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm gonna stick with my guns.
I believe you.
I'm like 95% sure I saw from New Zealand bowls on Facebook that she ended up winning gold. Again, sorry I don't have the pairs, but it's a tough showing, but well done on getting out there and representing the country best you can. Let's go. I've got women now. Again, singles was a bit tough. We'll kind of gloss over the singles. We won't talk too much because they played really well.
Yeah,
And
and it just didn't go their way.
Similar things. Results didn't go their way. Caroline Taylor being 1-4 in the groups. Again, a tough group. Anne Nunes, Dawn Heyman. You're talking very, very minuscule differences in getting more results there.
Yeah.
And again,
and it's probably, as you said earlier on, it's early in our indoor season.
Well, they played well. I believe, from what I can remember seeing on the graphics that Welsh Bowls put out, and especially in the singles, I think Caroline lost like 2 or 3 games on a tiebreak. So it's like, okay, yeah, you're 1-4, but you could have been 4-1.
Am I right saying it was a 1-end tiebreak?
Always a 1-end tiebreak.
1-end tiebreak.
And that makes it even harder than 1-end tiebreak.
It's just one wood on the jack, and it's nearly.
You've got to play a perfect set, really. Yeah. Or if you've got last word and they play a pair of a wood, it's not much you can do to combat it then. Amy Williams did a little bit better in the group. She also had a tough group. She had Kelsey Cottrell, someone we've obviously mentioned already on the episode, but Kelsey Cottrell in the group, 2 and 3 in the groups. 3 and 2 was good enough to go through in second place in her group. I'm assuming on shot difference. I only have the games in. But
I know she was very close in them 3.
Again, a couple of tie-break losses again. Kind of the difference between kind of going to the finals and not really. And that's just one of those things. Yeah. And then you got the pairs results. Oh my God, even more heartbreak from. Talk about the closest of margins that you could possibly.
I'm thinking of I actually watched this one, and they played, but I can't think who they played against. I think it was Australia.
They didn't have Australia. They had New Zealand, South Africa, Canada, India, and Malaysia in the group.
Right.
Might have been New Zealand.
Oh, yeah, it was either New Zealand, Canada, but they both played really well. Yeah. Caroline played super, but Amy pulled off some fantastic shots, but. How they didn't win, I don't know. It's one of those things. I think the commentators said that, I don't know what else they can do to win this game, because they've done everything they physically can to win that game, and it didn't go their way.
Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Yeah. I'm sure they're super proud of each other.
Don't get me wrong, mind. The other team played super well as well. Oh, yeah. But as we said, it's really so small.
Well, if it was New Zealand, obviously we talked about Selena Goddard. She's now the world number 1 for women. Yeah. Was actually announced during the World Cup, right. When she played in it, from New Zealand. She's still, again, only young. Yeah. Probably younger than me, I think.
Yeah. I don't know how old Caroline is, but I don't think Amy's particularly old, is she?
Well, I'm not going to say
she must be in her 20s, surely.
Well.
We'll say in her 20s, aim just to...
make her happy,
yeah. Yeah, keep her happy.
Yeah. But again, 2 wins, 3 losses, and I've got the results here. Against New Zealand, they were 5-8 set loss, 9-1 set win, 0-1 tiebreak loss. So that's 1 shot. South Africa, 1-4 set loss, 4-1 set win, 0-1 set loss. 2 shots. 4 against Canada, 4-5.
Maths is good.
Yeah, it's easy to count when it's only 1. Against Canada, 4-5 set loss, 3-3 set tie. So obviously they lose the match 1 shot. So the 3 games that they lost
was about 1 shot.
3 shots total.
Yeah. Oh,
you could probably pick 5 or 6. We've all done it where we go, if I did this there or this there, that's a we're through that kind of thing. So
they played fantastic. They should be, again, both of you should be very proud.
And then they ended up winning against Malaysia and India. I think Malaysia did really well in the pairs too.
I don't know.
I don't think they won it, but they were damn close to winning it.
Yeah.
So again, good results there for the women. Men's singles. Let's talk about Ross Owen first, because Daniel Davis Jr. played fantastic all week. Ross Owen, same thing as the women. Pairs, basically. 3 tiebreak losses and a 2-shot loss in 1 set and a tie set. So again, 4 games of losses, 5 shots.
Yeah.
what can you do? And the one game he did win,
which he was fantastic.
which was the game that I think the best game of bowls I think I've seen in a long time. I don't think he missed a shot at all. Was against Paul Foster. He won 6-2, 8-3. And Paul Foster played well.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched this game live. They streamed this game on YouTube. I watched it live, and I think we were a second set, couple of ends in, like 2 or 3 ends in, and the commentator goes, I don't know what to tell you, Paul. You've played some of the best bowls I've ever seen, but it's just not enough. And it's just like...
Well, what I liked about it was that they played one end, and I can't remember who had to make a shot, and they played a shot, and they went up and they were kicking the bowls back, and they were talking about discussing what shot to play.
Yeah.
And this is
it was
in the
late.
World
It was late
Championship.
in the second set.
Yeah,
It was. I think it was when Paul Foster realised he's lost.
And
lost
they were
the game.
discussing about what
They're
what
talking.
should I play that? Did I play this? Or what should you play? And,
Yeah,
and it was great to see when
I
it,
think
you
it
know.
was. I think it was a shot that Paul Foster played a bit heavy with his backhand.
Yeah.
If I can remember correctly, going kind of back up. He played it heavy in his backhand, and I think Ross was talking about how he could have, what he thought the ball was going to do. It kind of ball didn't quite do what I think Ross. He's talking about obviously hitting Paul's own wood and turning it over, or getting just around it and getting into shot wood, and then turning in for shot or stuff like that. But like you said, it was nice to see that and these guys have been around I say market so often.
But it was lovely to see. Now, I'm going to come back. We've tried a bit of live streaming, and we have a time, and we know how difficult that is.
Yeah.
Okay. But I've always said it'd be great to get some of these players mic'd up. I would love to hear what goes on when they're in this, the discussions they have and everything with it.
I think, well, going back to I think that's what works so well with the BPL is during the finals they've got mics pointed on the green, so you can hear everything.
Okay. All
All the discussions, all the talking and stuff, you can pretty much hear it straight off the get go. But yeah, I think it would be so much fun to have a mic'd up game where you get to hear everything that they're talking about.
Can you imagine 2 skips and then two leads or thirds skip, mic'd up? It would be
carnage.
It might be a lot of beeps, but I'm not sure.
Right, let's move on. Daniel Davis Jr.
Yeah.
What a week he had.
Oh,
To
phenomenal.
be fair, what a week he had. I believe his first major event for Wales, apart from internationals, in terms of individual.
As we say, we don't pretend to be.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, when we're not,
past.
we're quite new in the bowls. But yeah, what a week though.
Yeah.
Regardless whether it's his first, his ninth, it's the World Cup.
Yeah. Well, first World Cup, going against some of the best names in bowls. Lost to Jason Banks on a tie break. And for those of you that don't know who Jason Banks is, please get your head out of the toilet, because the guy went triple in Potters last year. Which has never been done, ever, and he was the first to do it. And unbelievable player, one of the best drawers of the game, I think, modern game at the moment. Beat Jamie Walker, BPL player, by the way, Mr. Walker. Won 2 more games, lost another game, went 3-2 in the groups, got through to the quarterfinals. And this is after their pairs, so obviously he's already played.
And we're going to talk about the pairs next.
Yeah, we're bringing it up last because obviously
we bring it up last.
Got through to the quarterfinals and ended up losing 8-6, 8-3 in straight sets to the Indian player.
Yeah.
But cracking achievement to get there.
Did the Indian player go on to medal?
No, he came tied third, lost in the semis.
Right, so he had a medal. He had a bronze.
Bronze, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the way that the bowls work, especially this if you make if you lose in semi-finals, both get a bronze.
So he's 1 game away from a
medal.
bronze medal in the singles in the World Cup. Yeah, well done, bud.
Yeah, I mean that's unbelievable, and obviously that's capping off what was an incredible. If I've got it here,
Pairs performance.
I don't have it here. I thought I did. Anyway. Obviously, we know Pairs got through to the final. I don't know what they went in the groups. I think they went. I think they lost one game in the groups.
I'm not sure. But we know where they played in the final.
We know where they played in the final because we obviously get to watch it thanks to Mr. Paul Williams. Played Jason Banks and Paul Foster.
Wow.
Like you, No offence to our guys,
No.
but you look at the two names, especially with what Jason Banks did in Potters, and Paul Foster being, he's an MBE. He's done so much in the world. You would think, okay, they've done really well.
Yeah.
It's hard to see him beat the nose too.
Yeah.
Especially, again, like I said, Jason Banks being one of the best drawers I've seen in a long time. Paul Foster being Paul Foster.
Yeah.
But my God, did they deliver? The boys delivered.
Boys can well. World champions.
First
ever world
ever.
champions.
They'll go down as history as the first men's pair to win
It's
a
a
gold.
good question. What in a World Cup, there's only other one Welshman has won it first. What sport was it? I think I'm right with this.
World Cup?
Yeah.
I don't know.
World Cup of Darts. I'm sure Leighton Rees won the very first ever World Cup of Darts. And the boys can now say they're the first ever World Cup winners of the pairs. Great achievement. So proud of you boys.
Yeah.
As is name. You've done yourselves, your
Bit
family.
nerve-wracking because Scotland did have the last bowl of the tie-break to...
yeah. We
was it last end or tie-break? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But managed to pick up gold.
For us, Ross has been a great supporter of our podcast. Been on. Hopefully, will come on again next year. Amy's been a great supporter as well. We haven't had Caroline. We've had John Wilson on from the Paras, but we're slowly next year going to try and bring these players on. We've had Carl Wood on. We're hoping that Dan Salmon and Jared and all will come on in the future.
We'll talk about it a bit later, but I think for the future, there's a lot of people that we've asked. It's just timing as well, isn't it? For us, is the people we've had on just fitted well with the calendar that we've had to be able to thing. It's not that we're just picking people.
No.
And I'll mention this later, but I think we just let everyone and anyone come on now.
Yeah.
I think we got to a point now where anyone who wants to share their bowls journey can just message us.
And that's what it's about, isn't it? It's
a chat about bowls.
Yeah, it's a chat about bowls.
It's not about the chat about international bowls or the best bowlers, and it's people with a story. Yes, we have people like Ross and Amy on because they are big in names and they have got a good story and they've got success and whatnot. But like our previous episode, we had a 9 and 8 year old on.
Yeah,
it's not like it's not like we're off after too much. But no, it's again fair play to all 6 of you. That were out in Malaysia. What an achievement. Want to make any more noise out there, woman?
She's not going to call me now because she's going to be
shy
on the
now.
podcast now.
She's shy now. Sorry.
Okay.
Right. So Malaysia's down. Hong Kong next.
Whoa. Malaysia's not done. There was another Welsh man out there.
I missed that.
Yeah, you did. But you've got it in your notes. So.
I do have it in my notes. I just forgot to read it. I didn't quite... so obviously with Malaysia, the World Bowls Federation or whatever you call them, World Bowls Association, whatever they're called.
First ever?
Well, they've announced a Hall of Fame for bowls.
Yeah.
So there was 31 inductees.
Yeah.
Again, most of them were Australian. What can you say? Australia are just by far the best.
A few from
bowls.
Scotland.
Got a few from Scotland, a few from England. Other countries, New Zealand had a few, but there was one man from our home country. That was out there, and
what a resume he's got, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that don't know, this is take 2. We've already tried doing this, and we've talked about it. But you look at resume wise, there's not many people in Wales. I'm probably in Britain that can rival the resume of Mr. Robert Wheel. The first Welsh inductee of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you should be very proud.
We argued a little bit about this on whether anyone else was probably more deserving.
I don't think as deserving. Not more deserving. I think Robert deserves his inductee into the Hall of Fame every step of the way. We could argue: is there anybody else out there who might have been?
There will be a few more that enter it. I mean, just the first. Yeah, I think for first, it doesn't get much.
We talked about Mrs. Betty Morgan, MBE. Would she be on there? We would think about John Price. You'd think about Anwen Button, MBE.
They kind of come.
Yeah, and you know what? To be all due respect, there's a lot of other bowlers who've represented Wales 100 caps plus, who I don't even know about.
Yeah.
And sorry if I'm not mentioning your names. It's just things that are coming. The people that we've met in our short time in this environment.
But obviously, Rob Wheel, first Welsh inductee to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, brilliant.
What an honour and an achievement.
And deserved.
Thoroughly deserved. And I guess now is a good time to say that he has said that he will come on the podcast.
Yes,
so
and
we will get to speak to him in the new year.
We will.
Talk all about his Hall of Fame career, because that's what we can call it now.
Yes.
Because it's a given. His career is Hall of Fame worthy.
Indeed.
So be on the lookout next year for that
Looking
episode
forward to that
with
one, actually.
I mean, Hall of Famer on our podcast. What a that'll be something special
For our second year.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah.
Right, Malaysia done. Hong Kong now.
Yeah.
Still going on as time of recording. They've just finished the first rounds of pairs, but the singles is finished. Again, very good success in the singles for the men.
For the men, yeah.
Dan Salmon.
Yeah.
Silver medal.
Oh,
some
tremendous.
say he should have won the final. I think it was just a bit unlucky.
I didn't see it, and so I'm not going to comment on it.
I didn't see it either, but there was a few that said that he probably could have won it.
Dan will probably have a reflection of his own and reflect on it and think.
Yeah, I mean,
what happened.
Again, silver medal. Hong Kong class. Anytime you win a silver medal in any event, it's
you take that before you went, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Again, there's some good names playing. You see some of the names that were there for some of those countries. It's just a tough, especially away from home, different grass, different playing conditions, hard to figure out.
And it was back on grass, wasn't it? You're playing. The boys have started now playing, and the ladies are playing indoors. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you're going back out and you're playing on grass, and it's like, I just don't know how they do it. They just used to. They've done it so often. They're probably just used to, and that's what it takes to be, the best in your countries, really. Yeah. But well done, Dan Salmon, on your silver medal. Congratulations.
Well done. Carl Wood, quarter finalist.
Yeah.
Lost in the quarterfinals. But again, great singles start to the singles before the knockout stages. I believe he only lost one game in his something silly that they're just playing some good bowls at the moment. Some of those Welsh men.
And we've had Carl on. Carl is very quiet, calm, collective individual.
He loved it. He was great on the mic.
He's I've seen him out in the Champion of Champions. I think we taught him media trained, didn't he? So, but no, he'll reflect on that as well. Could he have gone any further? Got the semi-finals?
You always think so, but. It's just, again, just to be out there for Wales and playing at a good level and getting as close to, medaling as you can. You're going to feel a little gutted, but you look back and think, what an experience that is.
And I know, for the ladies, it didn't go.
Yeah, ladies was a lot.
Where it went.
I think it was just difficult. They started off against some high quality opponents early on. I think Sarah lost to a woman from Hong Kong. Again, in Hong Kong, she's probably played there 1,000 times.
Yeah.
It's just tough to get going as well. And if you, again, with the set play, they played 2 sets. I think 7 and 2 sets in Hong Kong.
You have a bad start and it's gone, isn't it?
Yeah,
it just goes away.
It's very difficult to kind of come off. And Izzy White played last year's bronze medalist in the first round. Ended up just losing again, 9-5, 9-5, 2 sets.
Yeah.
It's probably a shot or two in it.
Yeah,
for both sets, really.
But for all of them, congratulations on your selection, and you did yourself and your families and country proud. So
and then obviously the pairs have started. It's not finished yet. By the time this podcast is over, this podcast is out. It should be over, but as of recording, they've only had the first half of pairs.
Mm-hmm.
Much different story for the women in the start of the pairs. They've won 3 out of 5. Picking up a total of 16 points.
Yeah.
Good start. I think they were like sitting in 8th or 9th of 16.
Right.
But that's only halfway through. I sounded like the women are playing a different format in the pairs than the men are.
All right.
But again, 16 points.
Have they got a chance of going through?
I don't know. All I saw from the Welsh Bowls was the results, and then women sit in 9th of 16.
Yeah, I seen that bit, and they showed how many points they got from each of the games.
Yeah.
But it's hard to work out, and not knowing the format and what they're
don't
playing,
know.
it's hard to work out how they...
But they've obviously got quite
Yeah.
a few more games
But
left.
it's certainly a better start for them than
Yeah,
they,
I mean,
they,
3 wins out of 5 is really good. They still got a point out of the two losses.
Yeah.
Again, they were one shot away from winning one of the going into a tiebreak. They lost the first set and then end up tying the second set.
Yeah.
So it's very close. Looking a lot more like the women we know that are out there that are playing some good bowls and keep going for the second half. Or I know obviously by you're finished, we'll probably be finished by then. But good start. Men have again started where they left off in the singles. They also 3 wins from 5. Sorry, but on 18 points and sitting first in their group.
Okay.
Tied first with their group,
Okay.
I should mention. They are tied with, I believe, one of the Hong Kong teams.
Again, local. Know the Greens, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it last year. I mean, there was the junior Hong Kong we had last year. There was quite a few players from Hong Kong that were always up there in the leaderboards and the medals and stuff. So it just seems like a hard place to go to have to play all the locals and that know the Greens really well. But 18 points from 5. They ended up losing one game. Straight sets, so they had no points from that.
Yeah.
Losing another game, but taking a set, losing in a tiebreaker, it looks like, because they didn't have the tiebreak score on there, and it's 1 set apiece.
And there's no point to us saying keep going, gents and ladies, because by the time this goes out, they'd have finished.
Yeah, we can still wish them the best.
We do wish them the best, and hopefully by the time this come out, you're in and
we'll
you've been successful and
yeah.
you have a couple more medals in the bag.
Yeah, we'll have some future medalists back on again.
But whatever happens, they're doing great, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hong Kong done.
Yeah.
Before we carry on, there's a few more things that we want to talk about. We are going to talk about Short Mat, because Short Mat did have their internationals.
They did. Solihull.
Before we go on to that, we do have some past guests to congratulate. The Welsh under 18s, and under 25 ladies have been announced.
They have.
Obviously, quite a few of our past guests have been selected for those teams.
Yeah.
So shout out to Megan. Megan Jones, she was on with her father.
Yeah.
For the under 25 selection. Jazz, captain in the under 25s this year.
Great news.
Obviously great podcast with Jazz.
Yeah.
We have Georgia.
Yes.
She was under 18s and under 25s.
Yes.
So congratulations on the 2 picks there from us.
Yeah.
And then the boys. Billy, captain, under 18s, last one.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing what he can do for the under 18s this year.
Yeah.
Back to whatever, how many backs we need to put on for the British champion of Elijah.
And he's bowling well, isn't he? He's maturing so nicely. The young man is...
can never count him out. He's such a good bowler, to be fair to him.
And he was... I was just going to say, Elijah, it was... we had him on with Bomber. I did speak to him last weekend in the under 60s. He was there supporting his sister.
Yeah.
Maybe next year, towards the end of next year, when we go back outdoors, we'll bring him back on his own to talk a bit more about his career.
We'll obviously loads of plans for that. Jack.
Yeah.
Pocket Rocket Jack.
Yeah. Jack Evans went down there in the world of the saucepan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Emma Georgia. Probably one of my favourites podcasts for Jack's story, really.
Yeah, we'll talk about it right at the end there. But he's character. Couldn't be more happy for him. And then obviously our very own Adam.
Yeah.
Been selected for under 18s again.
Adam Pritchard. Yeah, well done.
Congratulations to everyone, and everyone who hasn't been a guest as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a few more trials coming up. The under 25 trials has been released for the men.
Yeah.
A couple of our home team players have been put in.
Yeah.
So we want to wish everyone in the trials good
all
luck.
The best,
and the seniors have been released now. All of them have been released.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
So the rest of the trials, under 25 men's, seniors, men's and women's.
Yeah.
Good luck to all selected.
And some very strong names this year in the men's. You look through the men's to see why didn't I get a trial.
I didn't think why. I knew why I didn't get a trial, because I've been playing long enough and I'm not good enough. But yes, the men's team looked a lot stronger from previous years of selections, and just
and the women's as well.
And the women's are looking good too. You know, and we said at the start there, we talked about the men's and women's internationals and how close we feel like the Welsh team is getting to kind of bumping themselves more and more up that ladder.
Yeah.
And, you know, it might take a couple more years, but it's just starting to look good. It is starting to look good. There's some strong teams, players, young players who are playing together all the time, building that chemistry, building that team camaraderie, if you will, and just looking like that they can beat the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I know most of those women would run through a brick wall for each other. I mean, we're quite close with a few of them that played up in Cletley, and you could see the...
Yeah. I'll always remember that game against Scotland.
The last shot, and they basically
said one of Amy's shot.
Amy shot to win it against Scotland, and you could see. Didn't it? Well, it just looked like they were celebrating. They just won the bloody World Cup, didn't they? It was just that type of energy, and you know, I know it's a big thing for us being, you know, we're probably more or less likely with a couple of wins here and there, but it's never been a consistent.
Yeah.
So, but it's looking good. I like it. It's looking good. So, good luck, everyone.
Yeah, please. Please? What
please?
Did I say?
Yeah, I don't know why you said please.
I said that. No,
please.
Yeah, have a good trial, all of you. So there we go. So that's the all the trialists past guess.
Short Matt.
Yeah.
One thing that obviously we're going to build more on next year. We haven't forgot about them.
No, and I will say sorry to be in the short mat, in the Welsh short mat. We will try and get more podcasts with short mat bowlers next year, without doubt. Okay, so we do apologise. It's just been tough with work and the schedules and everything else, and it's but we will do our best to
and with obviously being bowls mad, we do play a lot of bowls, so it's been hard to. We did play in obviously a short mat competition.
You did.
I did. You and with Billy, past guest, and Arwell. We did end up coming runners up.
You did very well. Yeah. Very proud of you.
Yeah, and we're obviously put in for the Llansamlet invitation in March then for 5 players. So looking forward to that as well. So you know, hopefully next year.
Hopefully we're going to pull in the previous owner of this jersey.
Yeah, we'll pick in the ringer. We'll get Nick Evans in.
So
but you know, they've had a good weekend. Overall, I think some very close games again. Lots of positives, I think, to come out of the Welsh camp for the championships. The A team championships. So how it works is there's an A team and a Premier team, they call it. So you're kind of almost like your first and second team, but they all play these in the event. A team came third in the end. They were looking good for second. I think they just lost their last game, dropped them down on shot different. Well, on points, very very close in the end. Premier team also came third. This was very close, or was it the? I mean, it was very close. 6 points, 8 points, 9 points.
Yeah.
The top 3 teams. It's interesting to see that we know how good Scotland is in the long mat.
Yeah.
Scotland came 4th, last place in both.
Really?
In the short mat. So it looks like, I know Ireland have a really strong short mat community.
Yeah.
Really strong short mat community. They have that Neil McNabb. Is it Neil? I think it's Neil McNabb. I'm
thinking when you say McNabb, it's like the SS guy in the book. That's what that's Andy McNabb, is it?
I watch all the. I've got the short mat on my YouTube as well, so I see some of the games, and it's always final, and it's always McNabb in the final. Like so, I believe he plays for Scotland. For Ireland. So you know, strong team. 2 third place again. You know, couple of shots here and there go differently. It's a different result. You know, they're only 2 points behind second in the A. They were only 2 points behind second, 3 points behind first in the Premier team. Individual success, much more successful.
Yeah.
Premier side was looking strong after the first set and just kind of started to dip towards the end, unfortunately. Premier team singles, Andrew Hudson played the singles. He came third. Pairs saw Sam Davis and Darren Davis play together. They come 4th. Triples, Aled Edwards, David Howell and I'm going to butcher this name, Kenneth Howell, if that's how you say it.
Okay.
They end up winning
Yeah.
the individual championships in the triples.
The first name you mentioned there was Aled, wasn't it?
Aled Edwards.
Yeah, I've been in touch with Aled before when we talked about the short mat. So Aled, I'll be back in touch with you, and we look to get more guests on. Somebody maybe you'll be able to suggest that we can have, or maybe even I don't think we can get the three of them on, but
Potentially with one host,
Yeah,
potentially. Rinks, third place, that featured Ben Jackson, Fionn Jones, Tom Harris, and Nick Evans, our previous guest.
yeah.
A series now. What an individual for the A series. Individual championship. Singles saw Andrew Jones winning, first place. Pairs of Mark Thorpe and James John Davis, first place. The triples of Alan James, Andy Riley and Rory Gittos, second place.
Wow.
And the rinks of Ted Gittos, Dylan Johnson, Sean Howells and Craig Evans, second place. So 2 firsts and a second for the A teams in the individuals. Successful week.
Yeah.
Successful weekend. I know you can argue, maybe you want to do better here and there, this, that, the other, but the games are close and we took away a couple of firsts and
you played the short mat more than I have, and it can change so quickly with the shots, and then doesn't go your way, and
it's so difficult.
But again, got to say congratulations to all of you selected. Representing your country for me is always the biggest pinnacle you can have. And congratulations for those who come out with some silverware.
Yeah, no, great success for short mat. I think you look at, again, I didn't get to watch any of them unfortunately, but the scores look pretty close, pretty good most parts.
It's funny you say that because I'm sure I seen Amy's dad Paul had a final trial for some short mat. I'm not sure what it was. I'm sure Paul will let us know.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how many people who also played short mat play outdoors, or we got Nick Evans. Nick Evans plays
everything.
He plays short mat. He plays
indoor and outdoor.
Yeah,
I believe he made Llandod outdoor this year.
He did.
Fair play. There's a lot. I think there's a lot of crossover. There's usually more people who play longer version of bowls will try short mat and do both. Not often do you see the other way around. A lot of people who play short mat, they kind of just, because of short mat and all year round, very busy schedule, especially if you're good at it, you're flat out.
Yeah, long days them tournaments, mind, and they short mat tournaments are long.
Well, everything. The county trials just happened, I believe. It's just a lot. It's a jam-packed season. You play in for Wales a few times in the year. You play in all these different big events. I think there's something every week almost for short mat. It's a busy schedule, so you don't often see short matters jump ship or do both if they've started on short mat and stick with it and are good at it. But it seems to be a little bit more crossover now than there ever has been, which is nice to see. But well done, you lot. Cracking result this weekend. Hopefully, we'll get in touch with more short mat and get them on, and
we will definitely
get them going on the podcast.
We haven't forgot you.
No.
Okay.
Right. Let's finish off by having a little bit of fun. Let's talk about the year in review.
Wow. Been a hell of a year since this time last year when I just come out of my head that I want to do a podcast.
You hadn't even thought of it yet. We're not even in this. You said it in early December you wanted to do a podcast, so we're not even a year through.
Yeah. All my Christmas presents were podcast stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we did get you a bunch of podcast stuff for you, and look at us now.
Yeah. We've come from our living room. It was bare and empty.
Comfy.
It was comfy.
It was comfy.
Yeah. Perhaps we'll have to upgrade the seats.
Yeah.
But we got a couple of photos to go off in the off time for next season. Yeah, we're gonna put some guest photos up there. I haven't put them up yet. We got another jersey from Julie Thomas, from the visually impaired. So Julie's donated one of her Welsh shirts. It's gonna go somewhere.
We're gonna need a bigger room.
Don't tell him about that. Move the living room here and use the podcast in there. She go mad.
It's been a great year for me. I think for just just doing it. You know, it's always difficult to try and plan things, and you know, to be honest with you guys, we haven't planned half of what we've done. We've just asked people to come on. They've been great support and said yes, and we've just had good conversations with so many people.
And we've had to learn all this technical. You know, the audio in the beginning was
crap.
Yeah, I was going to say shit, but it was crap. Yeah, and we've learnt. We've got the audio better. Hopefully, the video is coming through better as well. We moved. You know, we've added to a little podcast room in the back of the house.
Yeah. You know, it's been a fun experience so far, and I think, you know, obviously we talked about it earlier where we mentioned on Facebook, and one of the boys from Cardiff said, you know, thank you and keep it going, you know, and stuff like that. That you know, that
meant a lot. I think it was Jonathan who said on a little message, you know, we're packing up.
Cardiff, sorry, Merthyr.
From Merthyr, yeah, and he put on there, keep you know, you're doing a great job. Hope you keep going, and the plan is to keep going. We'll be back stronger next year, but we do need a little bit of a break off of.
You wanted to keep going. You were ready to keep going, but I think it's to get constant guests every 2 weeks is just difficult to do.
I know,
very difficult to do, especially with how busy we are too. You know, we play as well, obviously, and
I work, and
you work, and
you will be working.
Yeah, but. Yeah. Don't have to dig me that hard on the podcast. But
favourite moments?
I'll let you go first because I know what you're going to say.
Well, I've said it more or less already. I'm not, you know, the Jack the Pocket Rocket Evans story of Julie Forrester goes down with me. It's just so funny. He didn't know who she was, and he was so excited. You know, he said, I didn't know who she was, and then the boys told me she's an MBE, and it was just so funny. And you'd heard it before, I knew. I only heard it at the time, and it makes me chuckle every time I think of it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, obviously every time you hear it from him, it's funny. Or even Billy saying it. You know, they were up late and she's walked into their room and the doors open. There's a couple of them talking and having a bit of fun. It's like 11:30 at night, and. She's walked in and I said, haven't you guys got a curfew? And Jack replied with no.
I hope if Julie ever does manage to listen to this, I hope he didn't come over disrespectful, because we know Jack Evans.
Laughing.
And Jack Evans is the most respectful child that he's a great kid.
You ask Billy. Billy loves Julie because she's just so chill with him. Yeah, she's just so chill with him. He said it before. He's obviously known her through a couple of under 18s events. And he's just like, she always has a bit of fun with us and just enjoys,
but,
you know, having a chat.
It was so funny. So that's got to be my favourite. Yours?
Mine is like I said, there's a load, but to me, I think to sum up the podcast, to sum up what Bowls is all about, if you haven't watched the episode, please do, because it just sums Bowls up to a whole of what we're trying to do. But having Leah and Charlie on. And when I asked the both of them if it wasn't for Bowls, because they go to the same school.
Yeah.
Charlie's obviously
different years.
Year older for Charlie, to Leah. I said, if it wasn't for Bowls, would you two be friends? And without hesitation, and this is how honest kids are, and I love it. Without hesitation, both of them, no.
Yeah.
Wouldn't. And I said, would you even know who each other is? No. Wouldn't even know her name.
No.
I think Charlie said, wouldn't even know who she was. Wouldn't know her name. Nothing. And
now they're best muckers.
Well, you look at the friendship they've got from it. I mean, you know, Leah has Charlie and her on her phone screen.
Yeah.
They call each other every night. They talk all the time. They play in school every day together.
Do you want to tell the story of the voting for the best player in our academy?
I will tell the story. So, our junior academy at Bridgend had our
Players Player
junior academy night, presentation night, and we decided to do a Players Player event. You obviously go into a different room. Ask one by one, all the kids come in to secure the votes. So Leah goes in first, or Charlie?
Leah?
Leah goes in first.
No, sorry, you're right, Charlie goes in first.
Charlie goes in first, obviously gets asked the question, who's the best bowler and who are you going to vote for? Leah. Okay, fair enough, makes sense. Sends her out. Leah's straight in after. Leah, who's the best bowler? Who are you going to vote for? Charlie.
Voting wasn't rigged at all, was
it? Yeah. Well, that's what you get when you leave it up to the players. They're going to pick their friends, or they're going to pick you know, who they think.
But you're right. That summed up how friendships and bowls have formed
And that's just
and
so
how
the-
strong they can be. And I'm sure there's bowlers out there who bowled for years and years and years. And you might have started as a youngster and you bowled with the same people. I know Amy talked a bit about it when she came on the podcast.
Obviously, she's bowled with Ross,
yeah,
and
all the boys,
Jared,
yeah. So
all those.
this is a new kid starting, building new friendships.
But
so
what made it so good for me is the fact that they wouldn't have been friends if it wasn't for bowls. Like I know, obviously, I don't know what schools Ross and Amy or all those went to, and if they were in the same or not, I don't know.
But they were in the same
But
school.
these two people probably crossed each other's paths for the last couple of years without a single idea of who they are.
Yeah.
And just purely because they give bowls a try, they found someone that they've found to be one of their closest friends, do everything together all the time. For me, I think that summed up what we're trying to do and what bowls should be about, and that's creating this bond with people. And
So
that was my favourite moment.
Yeah. Moving forward, what we got planned? Because I haven't got a clue. We got we've got
a good idea.
We've got some good guests lined up for next year.
Yeah, there's
26.
a few good. Obviously, we've mentioned Rob Wheel has said that hopefully we can get a thing with Rob Wheel. Obviously, Dan Salmons also said he would come on. There's a load of people that I would love to have on just every day. And this is one thing I wanted to bring up that I forgot to do in take one, but this one. If you feel like you want to come on and just talk bowls, you just want to feel like you want to be on the podcast, just to have a chat, talk bowls, please get in contact with us.
Yeah.
We don't just want the top.
No,
we want everyone.
Yeah, we want bowl stories, and somebody who's lived and their life is bowls and the journey that they've come through. So
or even if it's something that bowls has helped you get through.
Yeah.
Anything that makes it worth. Anyone who wants to just talk about their journey in bowls or a journey in bowls, please get in contact with us. We'd love to have you on. And
you can do that through bowlsbreakdownpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, or message us on Facebook.
Message on Facebook.
Message us individually, either one of us.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you. Moving forward, loads of guests lined up. We've obviously got some things in the work. You've got a meeting tomorrow night.
I have a Zoom meeting tomorrow night, with
Green Gauge, company in Scotland.
Yeah.
That produces bowls greens, not only around Britain but a partner with New Zealand and Australia as well.
So we're hoping to do that with them.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned it this time round, but the Wrong Bias podcast boys.
Oh yeah, they're doing a great job. In fact, I'm just going to go on and check something on here because the boys are streaming. Please, we want you to support them. Yeah, same as you support us, support them because they're doing a great job. I know they got their Wrong Bias shirts out.
Lovely shirts.
Yeah, and some of that money is going to them because we know how tough that streaming is.
Yeah, and just money to get the equipment is just expensive to get the right equipment to get things working well.
And I want to give us to a new one that's new to me, and I've got it through the Wrong Bias is the. Get this right, Bowls Drive TV on YouTube. So Bowls Drive TV, I think Helen has got something to do with that. They were doing live streaming from around the sort of the Midlands area. So again, give them a check them out, subscribe. It don't cost you to subscribe to anybody. Follow them. Yeah, and support them because it's all about you being able to view and see bowls because we don't get enough of that.
Bowls, but hopefully moving forward, I know we've had started contact with the boys at Wrong Bias and stuff, but hopefully we can do some joint content in the future.
Yeah.
Plan from us. And the other thing, obviously, I dropped on your first take, which you should be known by now. But after the Commonwealth is done and over with, we'll have a couple of years then to get our own Bowls for Brisbane campaign down and go in. And if we can,
I've been thinking about that already.
I know. I wanted to plant the seed because to me, I think if in 3 years' time we manage to keep this going and keep the support of everyone we've had going, I think there's a platform that we can use to push maybe even Britain to say, listen, bowls is probably people want to see it in and they can, because it's probably going to come down to a vote. That's how obviously they work it, is what sports do they want to have. They've already dropped a couple of sports that people aren't happy about, but there's a chance now for other sports.
Well, I've got a couple of ideas in my head. Don't mention one. I'm not going to tell him now.
We'll have to talk
I'm not going to tell him now, but I will tell you after, and we'll have a discussion.
But I think there's a lot of people who'd want to see it, and I don't want to name drop and force them into it, but I do see people like Dan, Sam and Ross, Jared, Amy especially, would want to see bowls at the Olympics.
Oh, of course.
So I feel like, especially from Wales and our point of view, just early doors, I think there's a couple of good players there that could really support.
Well, I'm just going to say I'm looking at other sports. So I'll leave it that with there and leave that thought in your head and what I've got going on in my little brain.
I don't know what. God help us.
God help
us all.
Yeah, so I got little thoughts there. So, and I suppose.
Oh, and obviously we're looking into other forms of content too.
We are.
It won't be probably next year. I would have thought it'd still be a little bit too early for next year, but year after, next 2-3 years, I would say, looking at different types of content where we are able to film some bowls challenges with past guests or guests hopefully that will come on between us, different series, different little 15-20 minute videos where we do almost like short form stuff, but that's my goal. I would love to do that, having like a 5-end, where we say me and you play Ross in a 5-end shootout where we give Ross a handicap or something.
I've got something along that lined up in my head,
but again we'd need the camera for it. That the biggest problem we've got is the equipment, to have a camera.
We'll talk about it off the thing. But he wants me to buy a new camera.
I don't want you to buy a new camera because the cameras we're going to need are like 600-700 quid.
So, anyway, we leave, I suppose, now with saying thank you to everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Absolutely.
Thank you to all the guests who've come on, the guests who said they will come on, the guests who have put themselves out there and we haven't got round to you. We will get round to you.
Yeah.
I've got a list of everybody, but thank you to all the people who follow us on Facebook, subscribers on YouTube. Please keep subscribing on YouTube. That's the big one for us. I think we're up to 650 followers. If we can get to 1,000 for us when we started, that we think that would be fantastic.
I mean, you look at bowls from the outside again. For being new, you look at bowls, you're thinking there's no way you're getting more than 400-500. But the support we've had and what we're seeing bowls take off this year. We're gonna do everything we can to keep going. There's no looking back for us now. We've got plans for good. Into the future. Obviously, we've got to keep going till 32 just to get bowls into the Olympics. So we've got a long, we're in it for the long run. 7 years from now.
God, my God, I'm going to be really old.
You're going to be grey by then.
You're going to grey.
Yeah.
Well, I'm grey here, and I got no hair, so I know when I'm going to be. I have a grey head.
Turn grey, grey skin.
So you'll be looking for a new commentator, but then
maybe.
Yeah.
But
so,
well, I'm going to say my thank you as well, and obviously. To it, can't speak. To add on to what you said, thank you everyone that supported us, has come up to us individually, mentioned you've watched podcasts and enjoy this one, that one. We don't expect you to watch them all. We don't expect you to watch the whole thing, but every little bit helps. Whether you watch 10-minute segments or just pick and choose the ones you want to watch, that's entirely up to you. But just supporting us on our journey and everything you've done. And again, and I know it's very cliche to say, but it wouldn't be possible without the support of the people.
It wouldn't.
To have the support and have people watch and have people say they'll come on and actually come on and talk about things and whatnot. It's what's able us to continue these episodes for all these years, to do 24 episodes now. Technically, this is 23, but it is been our 24th time on things. So. And with that, we will sign off for the year. So that is our last episode for the 2025 season, our first year as a podcast. We hope that you continue supporting us through the future. Next year is obviously looking big already for us, with a lot of potentially big guests for us and more things to talk about. We'll have the Commonwealth to talk about next year too, which is another big thing. So, I think 2026 for bowls is going to be a fun year to talk. to get people on. And with that, make sure you follow us on Facebook. Make sure you like on Facebook.
And subscribe.
And subscribe on YouTube. Like I said, we're close to 1,000. If we can get to 1,000 by the start of the next season.
Oh, I don't know whether we'll get there.
There's a tough ask. But
yeah, 350.
Get all your friends, even if they don't use YouTube, just get them subscribing. Get some bot accounts going and get that number up to 1,000 for the next year. But
anyway,
thank you all so much.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, bye.
No worries.